Hello everyone, this is Debabrata once again, and today I'm planning to take another class of array with some more examples that I have not shown on the first class of array because it was just the basic or the starting of the array programming. But today I'm planning to show you some more programs on that. So for introduction, I would not waste the time by introducing myself. I think you can get some link in the description section and you can find the details of about myself. So I will directly jump into the topic today, and our topic will be today, yes, more array programs in C language. And obviously, as a prerequisite, I will always suggest just go through the first three chapters, like the basic syntax, starting programming, and the if and for loop, because those are the basics. And if and it is the second class of array, and that is because of you need to go through the first class of array as well. At least you have to gone through the basic syntax and basic activities of the array. If you ask me, in array we do not have anything to learn, anything much to learn, because array is just a collection of variables, the few variables with the same name. But yeah, array will be meaningful if you add the for loop with it. So we can do multiple activities in array if we use for loop. So, and obviously from the very first class I am saying for loop is the most important thing. So yeah, just go through all the previous classes. It is not much, just go through them, and obviously you have to have some time in your hand to type all the programs I'll be showing you today. So today I'll be covering two topics, and the first one is suppose the find duplicates. So first, let me type the basic programs of C. Let me go to any of the online compilers. You can use any compiler. Just check if it is printing hello world or hi hello something successfully or not. If it is printing hi or hello, then I think it is fine. So if you are getting any trouble, if it is your first class, just let me know in the comment section what are the difficulties you are facing. But let me type quickly. First, let me take an input of few elements. Suppose I'm introducing an array with A50. I'm introducing as well as few variables. So I am taking one input like, okay, I want to play with n elements. And after that, I will ask user. I think this has been done. Uh, if you have gone through the first class, you know this. So, but still, let me write those steps. I will write enter elements. Something popped up. I accept risk. Sorry for the interruption. Yeah. So let me type quickly I equals to 0, I less than n, or you can, I am using less than n. You can use less than n minus 1, whatever. Okay. So, okay, let me write less than n minus 1 itself because you are very new, because array starts from 0. And I can skip the uh, I can skip the bracket, because if there is one line in for loop, you can skip the bracket. If you have multiple lines in the for loop, then you have to give the bracket. So we have already done the for loop. So I am taking that risk that you are able to understand. So as it is one line, I'm skipping the bracket. Okay, just a smaller thing. So anyway, I have already taken all the inputs inside a array. So now I'm going to take one value, say val, and suppose I'm taking that as 10, and I'm trying to search that, and okay, it is asking for, okay, let me go to the question. It is asking for print the unique elements. But before going into that, print the unique elements, I want to find the frequency of each element. What does it mean? Suppose we have an array like 10, 20, 30, 10, and 20. I want to find how many times 10 is appearing in the array. So the answer should be 2. You can clearly see we have 10 2 times in the array. So simply the frequency means number of times it is appearing in the array. So here you can see 10 is appeared twice in the array. So that's the thing first we need to find. And after that, obviously, to print unique elements, I will print those elements which is appearing only once. So here 10 is appearing twice, 20 is appearing twice, and 30 is appearing once. So as a result, I have to print 30 only. But for the time being, I'm not going into that direction. I'm just trying to find the frequency of, step by step I'm doing, frequency of 10. So I have taken one val, it is 10, suppose, and I need to find how many times it is being appeared in the array. So I will take a variable like count, and I will just iterate the same loop I0 to in minus 1 because the array starts from 0. And I'm going to find if AI equals to val. If AI is equals to val, I'm going to just increment the value of count. It is pretty much simple, I guess. So just I'm increasing the count. And at the end, I'm just printing, okay, the count of this variable is this. I can write count of %d is %d. So the first %d will be filled up by val, and the second %d will be filled up by count. Let me show you the demo. Suppose I want to work with 5 elements, so 10, 20, 30, 10, and 20. So it will print count of 10 is 2. So obviously you can change the value, you can make it 20. And if I run the same array, like I want to play with 5 elements, 10, 20, 30, 10, 20. So count of 20 is 2. If I give 30 here, so obviously the count will be 1. So let me input the same thing once again. Sorry, not 40 this time, 10 and 20. It will be saying count of 30 is 1. So my first thing I want to do, I want to put all the elements once into the val. First, I want to make val as 10. After in the second run, I want to make the val as 20. In the third run, I want to make val as 30. So this program that you currently see in my screen, it is pretty much like linear search that we have done in the first class. We are just iterating through the array. We are searching something. If we are getting that, we are just increasing the element of count variable. So that is pretty much normal. This loop, this for and if looks like the same thing as we have done in the linear search in the last class. But this time I want to put another for loop on the top of this, and that will put the value, that will put the necessary value into val. So I want to make val first time, suppose A0. A0 means val will take the first value of the array, and that is 10. So let me run this thing. So what it will do, it will find the frequency of 10 simply, because val equals to A0, and A0 is a variable. The first variable of the array, because array starts from 0. It looks like a zombie variable. It looks like looks not like normal variables like I, like n, like val. But yeah, it is, of course, at the end, it is a variable, and it's the first variable of the array. So I am, by assigning this val equals to A0, I'm taking val as 10. So if I can make this happen, obviously I can put a for loop on the top of that, and I can assign all the variables into val one by one. So I can write I equals to 0, I less than equals to n minus 1, and I equals to I plus 1. And each time I will put all the elements one by one into the val. And after that, all these activities will be performed for each of the values. That means first val will be A0, that means it will be 10. After that, val will be A1, that means it will be 20. After that, val will be A2, that means val will be 30, something like that, in simple words. So if I run the program, enter the number of elements, I have entered 5. Now let me insert few values. The same values I am inserting, and you can see count of 10 is 2, something like that. So why it is not running? Just a minute. It should run. Everything should run. Why this for loop is not running? Sorry, I made a terrible mistakes. So I have given the same variable I here and here as well. So terrible mistake I have made. Let me convert it to J. Let me convert it to J. That's why it is not running. Now it should work. So I have changed the variable name. So, okay, I have to introduce J somewhere. Okay, let me run the program now. It might happen in case of you as well. Some programs are not running. Do not lose hope. I am not a Superman as well, so I make mistakes. So for you as well, it is a learning as well. Like if you are stuck in the anywhere in the program, just look it carefully. Yeah, it might take some time, but yeah, you have to spend some time and it will be okay. If not, you can paste the screenshot in the comment section. I can also have a look why your program is not running, but you have to practice all those programs in your compiler itself. So anyway, let me enter the elements once again. Let me hit the enter and you can see now it is printing count of 10 is 2, count of 20 is 2, count of 30 is 1, because val is being assigned to all the elements one by one. First, it is being assigned to 10, then it is being assigned to 20. And that's why these two elements are also coming because of that. So anyway, we are just looking for the unique elements as the requirement suggests. So as it is looking for the unique elements, I will only target the value which is coming once. I do not care the values which are coming twice. Means 10, the line of 10 is coming twice, you can see. But I don't care. I do not have any interest to print them. So what I will be doing now, I do not need this line. From here, I can just check if count equals to 1, then obviously I'm going to print something like percentage deval. So all the unique elements will be printed. So here 30 will be printed. So let me run this 5, 10, 20, 30, 10, 20. So 30 will be printed because 30 is the unique element. The element which is having count equals to 1, I will only print that variable. So this is the answer of question number 1. Okay, just pause your screen and try to type the program in your machine. I want you make some mistake. Okay, then only we'll be able to learn. So now if I come back to the second program, so it is something similar like print the duplicate elements. So duplicate elements means obviously I have to print where the count comes greater than 1, obviously. So if I run the same program, you can see 5 elements I want to play with, 10, 20, 30, the same input 10, 20. So here I should get 10 and 20, but why this 10, 20, 10, 20 coming twice? Because if you check previously, if I open this printf statement and let me comment it out, these two lines, I do not require it now, might be required later. So if I run this line, count of something, so it is going through the full array. It is going through the full array. And obviously, it is first, means, okay, let me explain it here in Notepad. So what is happening? So J is starting from 0. J, that variable I have made terrible mistake, you can remember. So J is starting from 10. So what I'm doing, val equals to I'm doing AJ. And I'm trying to search by some piece of code what is the occurrence of, what are the frequency of val. That is fine. Then J is moving to the second position, val is becoming 20. And we are searching the frequency of val and I'm printing that by several lines. Then J is becoming 30 and we are all again searching. We are again assigning 30 to val and I'm just trying to find the frequency of val. But now J is coming to this position. How can computer know that it is a duplicate value because this value already appeared earlier? So now we have to restrict to print 10. Why we need to restrict this 10 to print? Because we have already printed the frequency of 10 earlier, means we have found the value of 10 earlier as well. So we can put a solution like, if we can find some values earlier, then we are not going to calculate the frequency. So we have to check the variables here, means from 0 to j minus 1 position. Value doesn't matter. It might be 200, it might be 300 as well. Values doesn't matter. So position matters in array. So if we are finding any place, suppose we are finding the j place frequency, we have to search the previous places if that value presents in any of the previous places or not. So our target area will be starting from 0 position to j minus 1. Okay, let me implement this now. So after assigning val, we can use for loop I variable now, because we are under j loop, so we can use this. So I can use I equals to 0, I less than j minus 1 this time. Until previous position, I'll be searching if that value is present in any of the previous positions or not. So what I will do, I will write something in found equals to 0, a meaningful variable that people can understand what I'm trying to do. So if val is present any of the previous positions, means the positions of I here, I is iterating from 0 to j minus 1. If it is present in any of the previous positions, I will simply do found equals to 1. That's all. Same thing like we have used in prime number. So if found equals to 1, that means we found that variable in the earlier positions. So all these steps will be executed, means counting frequency. All these steps will be executed when found will be 0, means we couldn't find that variable in earlier steps. And now we can avoid printing 10 and 20 twice. Let me run. So 5, 10, 20, 30, 10 and 20. You can see the last 10 and 20 is not going to print, because we are checking if it is duplicate value or not. What does that mean? I will have to check if that value is present in some earlier positions or not. If it is not found, then only I'm going to perform these frequency calculation steps. If it is found, means found equals to 1, I'm not doing anything. These steps can only be executed if found equals to 0. Okay, I'm going slow. We do not have any dash, but that is the way. Just I will suggest pause your screen, pause my screen, pause this screen, and just try to practice all those lines. Try to type all those lines. Try to play with all those lines. Try to print in different ways in your screen. If you are getting any unwanted values, like, okay, I'm not expecting this, but why it is coming now, just let me know. I will try to make you understand. Just paste the screenshot in the comment section. Okay, just paste the code where you are getting the error. So this is the way how we can avoid this thing, avoid to print the duplicated values multiple times. Now I can simply just turn off this line, and I can just execute this line. If count greater than 1, then I can print the values. So if I run, and I'm saying this is pretty much important question for the interview rounds, for the exams as well. Okay, so it is pretty much important. You can see 10 and 20 is coming only once, not twice. So that's the thing we have to do. So let me check the next program. It is saying print the frequency of each element. I think we have already done that. So without duplicates even. So if I just delete this line, and if I just open this line, I think frequencies will be printed. Let me show you once again. So 5 elements, suppose 10, 20, 30, okay, sorry, 10 and 20. And you can see the count of 10 is 2, count of 20 is 2, count of 30 is 1. And it is not going to print last 2 elements because it is already found in earlier positions. So we can only carry out our task if found equals to 0. So something we have implemented, and we can get rid of this. Okay, and we can also take some other examples, because from the very beginning we are taking only 10, 20, 30, 10, 20. So let me take some values like 8 values. Let me take 10, 20, 30, then again 10, then 40, then again 30, suppose 20, then 50. 8 elements, I guess. So look, it is successfully fetching. Count of 10 is 2, count of 20 is even 2, count of 30 is 2, 40 and 50 coming only once. So something like that. It will be something dynamic and it will run for all the inputs. Okay. So now, so that topic one is done, I guess. So we do not have much thing to do here, but we have to be very confident while playing with array. And obviously the major part will be played by for loop itself. So now, okay, sorry, by mistakenly it is written topic 4, it will be topic 2. So it is asking for splitting and merging. So what is splitting and merging? So let me give you some example what is splitting and merging. So splitting is something like, suppose, okay, so let me first check the programs. So it is saying splitting even and odd elements into two different arrays. Okay, so that means you can have some elements in your array like 10, 20, 30, suppose, or 10, 21, 31. I'm using these variables. Why? I'm using these simple variables 10, 20, 30, because it should not create any pressure in your mind. If I start working with some variables like this, you will be means thinking about the values. I do not want you to concentrate on the values. Values doesn't matter. So I always used to take simple variables, simple values, so that your concentration should be on the position, not into the values. Values can be anything, still everything will work. So let me take again the simple variable, simple values like 10, 21, 31, 40 and 50. So they want it to be splitted into two arrays. One, the even, in even one, you can put something like 10, 40 and 50. And into the odd one, you have to put 20 and 31. So that will be your task. So what to do this time? So now let me move into the program. So this part will be fixed because it is taking the input. Now what will I do? I will just take one array like even. The size will be same. We will play with the size later on the dynamic memory allocation chapter, but for the time being, it is same. I know there will be some wastage of areas, but yeah, we will save that later. For the time being, we have to be very confident on the programming skill, on the logic building part. So now what I'm trying to do, okay, let me delete all this. So now what I will do, so for I equals to starting from 0, I less than n minus 1, I equals to I plus 1. So I am traversing through the array. I'm just trying to check if AI is even or not. If AI is even, just think carefully. If AI is even, I'm trying to put that value inside even array. So first, if if I'm going through the array, so suppose it is the A array, suppose. And I have two more arrays like even and odd. Those are empty for the time being. Okay, those are empty. So here the variable is iterating, the variable is I, and that is iterating through the array. And I'll be taking another variable called E for even, another variable called O, or you can make it like EP for a even position, OP for the odd position. So what I'm trying to do now, if this value is even, I'll be putting 10 into this even array, means into the even position. That is, initially it was 0. And after that, after inserting the first value, EP will become EP plus plus. EP will become 1. So what I need to do, just let me do it slowly. So before splitting this up, I will introduce two variables. So even position, that will start from 0. Another one is odd position, that will also start from 0. So whenever the first value in the original array becomes even, I will simply put that value into that EP position, means in the even 0. That means even array, I'm putting the value inside the 0 position. So it will be AI. And after that, EP will be plus 1. So EP will be increased whenever I found a even number. Okay, the same will happen for odd. If the value is not even, I'll be putting that value. That means that value is odd. So I'll be putting that value into odd array. And from the obviously, I will track in which position, and that will be tracked by the variable OP. Okay, so I will put AI here, and here OP equals to OP plus 1. What does that mean? Let me show you the dry run. So first, EP and OP both was 0. So whenever 10 inserted here, EP just gone forward and it becomes 1, EP plus plus. Okay. So I is increasing every time because I is a part of the for loop. It will increase every time. So I becomes now on the first position of the array. And here it is saying 21. So 21 is odd. So I will put 21 into the OP position. So OP is 0 basically right now. So I will put 21 into the OP position. And obviously after that, OP will go into the new position to take the next value. Same, I will be increasing further. Just check the dry run and try to relate with the code you can see in my screen as well. So 31 is odd. So 31 will be inserted into the OP position of the odd array. So I will put 31 here, and obviously OP will be OP plus 1. So now 40 is even. So okay, first let me move the I. So 40 is the even. So I will put 40 obviously in the EP position. Means EP is now 1. So in even, 1 equals to 40. That means and EP will further increment it. Now I will move to the 50 last position, and the value I can see is 50. So 50 will sit here as it is even, and EP will move further. And now I can see I is out of range. So the for loop is over. So now I have segregated the elements into 2 array. So just I need to print 0 to EP minus 1. You can clearly see. Most of the people cannot understand why I'm printing the values till EP minus 1. Because you can see simply EP is in the, if I write the positions 0, 1, 2, and 3. EP currently is in the 3 position. But we need to print the values from 0 to 2. Obviously, why should I print till 3? Because I can get some 0 or some garbage values in this position. I do not know what is there in this position. The valid values are from 0 to 2. So I need to print it from 0 to EP minus 1. Same for the odd array. I have to print from 0 to OP minus 1. So that idea is very important in the exam room or during the interviews, because you do not have the time to just paste the code. So you have to be very confident on this part. I will suggest you to focus on the dry run part. If you are able to understand the dry run, then I think you will be okay with that, and try to practice as much as program you can with this type of array traversing and all. So I can simply printf %d with a space, and it will be even I. In the even array, I will print this. And obviously first I will print something like even array is. After splitting even array is, I will something print like this. And same I will copy for the odd array as well. So I will print odd array is, and it will be here, it will be OP minus 1, and here I can print odd. Okay, I think that's all. Let me first test if it is running fine or not. So I will take 5 elements, 10, 21, 31, 40, and 50. Sorry, 50. And you can see, yeah, even array is something and odd array is something. Okay, odd array is printing in the same line. I can put some /n here. And now /n means entering a new line. That's all. Okay, means hitting an enter before printing odd array is, something like that. So let me take some other inputs, not in the similar way. Let me take 8 inputs and let me put some values, random values, 10, 21, 31, suppose 39, 23, 50, 60, and then 22, I think I have already written 8 elements. Yeah. If I enter, you can see even array is these values and odd array is these values. Okay, so they has been segregated into two parts. And that is quite interesting. And you have to be confident on the dry run. You have to take an example first. I always took some simple example like this. I do not think with these complicated examples. Values can be anything. Values can be anything. You just need to take some values, any random values, but focus on the positions. So I have taken two variables, EP and OP, to denote the positions because I have to be confident on that. Just do a dry run and take a look how it is performing. We have a nice exercise over there. And on the first class, I have suggested to do some exercise on the basic array, basic exercise. But this time I will suggest at the end of the class to do some exercise on array intermediate. Okay. And that will be some more complicated programs you can face there. So just let me know if you are stuck anywhere. I will try to help. So that is the program itself. Just revise if you are not able to understand. Just revise the class, means just start from that part. Means splitting part. Just go through that once again. Okay, I think it will be clear. If not, just let me know somehow. So the second program and the last program for the day, like merging two shorted arrays into one shorted format. What do you mean by shorted array? So obviously here, user are going to input the shorted array itself. We do not need to do anything. So, but what is meant by shorted? Shorted means it will be always in the ascending order. In the last program, you can see I have given random numbers 10, 21, 31, 39. Then it decreases to 23. Then again it increased to 50. It increased to 60. And then again it decreased to 22, something like that. But shorted array will be something that will be always increasing. Like the examples we always take, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It is in increasing order. It will always increase. So it is a shorted way. Okay, so here they are asking for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. There will be one array called A. Say, another array they were planning to take, that is B, and that might hold some variables like 21, random values 33, 37. And it is also in sorted order. You can see it is always increasing. It is not like the examples you can see in my output screen. So it is increasing. So you have to take two inputs, and it is the responsibility of the user to input as such arrays or the elements. So now they are telling to merge. So you have to remember this term. What does it mean by frequency? What does it mean by splitting? And now what does it mean by merging? Merging means they want to put all the values into some array C. Again, this time in the sorted order. Merging both of them means 10, 20. They are planning to take 21. Suppose after that it will be 30. After that it will be 37, 33, 37, 40 and 50. Look, I have merged both the elements but it is still in sorted order. So just you need to think. We do not need any intelligence here. Because if I give this task to you as a human, you will be able to do it very easily. So that means it doesn't require any intelligence. We have that. We do not need to think the solution as a human. But the task is to be sync with the computer, just to understand how computer feels, how computer works. And if I can solve this task, why not computer can solve this task? Just behave like a teacher, and computer is your student. So you are able, as a human, you are able to merge these two arrays, but you have to make your computer understand the logic you are thinking on the back of your mind. So here what you are doing as a human, obviously you are first considering, just go slow. You are too fast as a human. You will just take probably 5 seconds to merge this up. As a human, I'm saying, just think slowly what you are doing exactly, and after that implement that step for computer. Suggest computer to follow the same steps as you are thinking in your back of mind. So what you are doing, if we are going slow, first you are comparing the smallest element between two arrays. So first you are comparing 10 and 21. So 10 is lesser than 21. So you are writing 10 here. After that, you are comparing 20 and 21. So 20 is lesser than 21, you are putting 20. Next, you are comparing 30 and 21. So 21 is lesser, you are putting it here. After that, you are comparing 33 and 30. So 30 is lesser, you are putting it here. So it is something like, if we put some variable like j and k from the very starting, and which one is lesser, I'll be putting inside I. Something like that. So I will always increase, it will take the value from either A array or from B array, something like that. So let me try to write the program slowly, obviously. So obviously, okay, let me write first, enter the number of elements for array 1. Enter the elements for array 1. Let me do the same steps for the second array, and let me put some values in here. Suppose A array, B array, and C array, something like that. Okay, let me delete this one here. Okay, let me put something like n1 for the first array, n2 for the second array, and put, okay, let me put some variable like k as well. It might be required. So anyway, so let me insert the second array as well. Enter the number of elements for the array 2. And okay, just let me modify a bit. It will be n1. Everywhere it will be n1 now, because we have to deal with two variables, two arrays. So it is n2, it is n2, and it is going to be the b array. I hope I have written everything correctly. It is a second array, b. Okay, I have to make a change, small change here. So it is a b array with n2 size. It is the a array with n1 size. Don't be puzzled. It is a simple thing. We are taking input. From the very starting, we are doing this. Let me delete all these things. So what I will do now, I will be starting from 0. J will be starting from 0. K will be starting from 0. That's all. Okay, or I can put it all together into the for loop as well. Whatever you want. I will iterate till, let me think. Here it will be starting from J. Until J is under the range, means if it is lesser than equals to n1 minus 1. Until K is under range, and means it is under n2 minus 1. So I have to write until I is lesser than equals to, not I, it is J. J is lesser than equals to n1 minus 1. Means until it is in the range of A array. Until, okay, and then simultaneously K is under the range of n2 minus 1. So you can see here I'm putting the knowledge of if, means the chapter 2. As I have mentioned, the chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 1, those three chapters are most important. So here as well, array is simple, but we have to use for loop, if here to make it possible, to make everything possible in array. So I am iterating till these two values are under range. That means until J is iterating inside A array and K is iterating inside B array. And every time what I'm doing, every time I will be incrementing, because I is putting value into the third array. So obviously it has to be incremented every time, but there is no guarantee J will be incremented every time or not, or K will be incremented every time or not. I will show you how. So now let me go very slowly. If now this is the time to compare. If AJ less than of BK, if AJ is less than of BK, here it is happening like that, 10 is less than of 21. Then CI means in the ith position of the C array, I will put that 10. And I will be obviously every time it will be plus plus. So what I'm trying to do, I'm just writing CI equals to AJ. Okay, and obviously J will be J plus 1. because next time J will come to this position and I will compare 20 and 21. So this time again, you can see the backward code. J is at second position now, means it is in the word of array, it is position 1. So whatever it is, I'm comparing this position, the value at this position with the value at this position. Again, 20 is lesser than, means AJ is lesser than BK. So if AJ less than BK, what I will do, CI equals to AJ, means I will put 20 into the ith position of the C array. In the back of the mind, we are doing the same thing, but very quickly. As a human, we can solve this very quickly, but we have to be slow here. So now I will be plus plus, obviously, because it is a part of the for loop. You can see here I equals to I plus 1 is a part of the for loop. And also I will increment J as well. I'm not touching K. I'm not touching K. K will be incremented when this part will be lesser. So now this time, if I compare AJ and BK, just think slowly. 21 is lesser than 30, means BK is lesser than AJ. So in the else part, I will write if the B array part is lesser, then I need to put that value into CI from BK. And K will be this time incremented, not J. So if I check the dry run, so now between 21 and 30, 21 is lesser. So I will put 21 into the ith position. Just do it slowly and increment the K. And obviously I will be incremented every time as it is a part of for loop. So that will go on. So if I check next 30 and 33, obviously 30 is lesser. It will come from the first array, I plus plus and J plus plus, the same thing. Again, 33 and 44, 40. So 33 is lesser. So I will put 33 here, I plus plus, and K will be plus plus. So now 40 and 37. So 37 is lesser. I will put 37 here. And obviously I plus plus. And obviously K plus plus. But this time, take a look. K is out of range now. It is massively important. People just frequently ignore this part. So it is K now is out of range. K is not under the limit of B array because B array is over. We have taken everything from the B array, but we are still left with A array. So it will be not a good thing to compare this unknown garbage value with 40 and 50. So obviously we can skip this for loop. So after that for loop, we can simply write another small for loop to just check the value. Means if there is any value I lesser than equals to n1 minus 1, if we have something like that, simply copy everything from that array. So let me copy and paste this line. If we have anything left out in the first array, copy it. If the second array is over, if you have anything left out in the first array, you can copy it directly. And okay, I have to write another line, I equals to I plus 1. Okay, it might happen the reverse as well. First array is gone, first array is finished, and we are left with the second array. So in that case, okay, sorry, it will be J. So in that case, it will be K until K reaches to the last element. I will simply copy from the B array, BK, and it will be K equals to K plus 1 and I equals to I plus 1. So it might be the reverse, but in this case, what will happen? I will iterate until J becomes n1 minus 1. So obviously what will happen? J is less than n1 minus 1. Yes, then put the 40 here. So whatever is left off without comparing, just put that inside the final array. So J will also increase, I will also increase. So 50 is under the range n1 minus 1. So I will copy 50 here. So in simple word, just copy everything, whatever is left out. So now J is out of range, everything is done. Now my task is to print everything from 0 to I minus 1 Or simply we can also take like n1 means 5 plus n2 means 3, the size of two arrays minus 1. That is also becomes 7. So I can write something printf. The final array is, I can forget the value of I. I can reassign the value of I, like for I equals to 0 to I less than equals to n1 plus n2. That means 5 plus 3 minus 1. It is 7. Okay, the same thing because array starts from 0. And I can simply print the values of C array. So it will be like C I. That's all. So let me run it first. Let me check if it is running fine or not. So I will play with 5 elements and the elements will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, something like that. Enter the number of elements for array 2. Suppose I will take 3 elements. First, let me check. 21, 33, 37. Let me put the same value. If it is running, then I can try with the some other variable. So you can see the final array is, and it is in sorted order. I can match with the output. Yeah, it is in sorted order. So just think, our brain is so fast. You have already done this very quickly in when I have given the task as a human. But now this time, when the time comes to do it with the computer, we are thinking it is pretty much tough. So my suggestion will be just think slowly and try to understand all these programs. So if I explain this once again, what we are doing, until both the arrays are in range, both the elements are in range, I am comparing those things. The smaller one I'm choosing and I'm putting that inside the final array, that is C. Next turn, if something is finished, obviously there will be some array will be finished earlier. So suppose some array, either it might be the first one or it might be the second one. If something is done, we are done with all the elements, we will enter the for loop. And after that, we will use two small for loops. So if anything, we are checking if anything is pending with the first array, put that inside the final array, that is C. If anything is left out in the second array, that is B, put those elements directly into the final array, that is C. That's all. Do not need to compare because we do not have anything to compare because one array is already over. So anything is not left out to compare. So just put everything, whatever you have left with, just put everything into the final array. That's all. And after that, we are printing because we have 8 elements in the array, 5 from the first array, 3 from the second array. So obviously, we will not print until 8. It will be 0 to 7 because array starts from 0. Each and every array starts from 0. So that's why I have written something like 5 plus 3, 8 minus 1. That is 7. If you are not able to understand uh, by this time, just I will suggest just to go through this part once again and try to type the question by yourself. If you are getting any error, just let me know in the comment section. Just paste the screenshot. I will try to have a look there. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so now, okay, if I go to the slide, I think we do not have anything else to complete today. So we are done. So there are many questions we have to solve like this. So we have a pretty nice exercise as well. You can see it is coding exercise intermediate. And for the very first time, we have to go into some new place, new album. From the very starting, we are solving the question. I am suggesting to solve the question from this album, coding exercise basic. But this time, I will suggest you to move to this album, coding exercise intermediate. If you can see my cursor. So if you go there, you'll be getting some exercise, some tougher exercise this time for single dimension array. And you have to solve this. Okay, you have to solve this. So if I check, yeah. So we have 15 programs. You can try to solve this. If you are facing any errors, just let me know. Okay. So the unique element, duplicate elements, all the examples are here. So yep, that's all. You can communicate me with email, this email ID as well. The study materials links, Facebook exercise link, everything is available. In case of any requirement, just let me know in the comment section. So bye for the day, practice everything. You have to be very confident with the for loop, how we are using for loop to traverse in array, how we are going from starting to ending. We can do as a human, we can think, but we have to write our thinking in the programs, and that is the task. It is not something like we are doing something with very intelligence. We are already able to do that as a human, but we have to go slow. We have to understand how we are thinking, and we have to write our thoughts into the codes. That's the task. Okay, so take time, do not rush. It might take 3 hours or the whole entire day to solve one program only, but still I will prefer to do it by yourself. It might take a full day, but still spend that time. Then only it will be helpful for you. If you are really want to come into the software industry, if you have a means if you are doing it for just getting the marks in your exam, then do not need to spend that time. Just check the exercise, how I have done that. But if you are really intention to come into this sector, then you have to spend some time. You have to do it by yourself. So after that, after a couple of classes, I will go into that direction, how we can solve this fast. But for the time being, our intention will be to solve it correctly, irrespective of time. Okay. So that's all, I guess. I have already given a lot of things today. So do not need to stay here. So bye for the day.